Every day, whether I'm strength training or not, this self-taught stretch routine is a part of my life. I start just feet firmly planted in the ground, start to loosen up the spine. I usually get a couple of pops in the back, sometimes my knees, hips, and I just go 5 to each side, not trying to over torque it, just smooth. From here, I'll start to stretch the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back. I just let gravity do its thing before I reach behind, grab some traction, and gently pull. After that, it goes right down into the squat position, trying to keep my heels firmly planted on the ground. Let's take some time to really loosen up. I'm going to push my elbows outwards against my knees and start to stretch out the adductors, inner thighs. Straighten the feet, lean back, and stretch out those quads. So I'll aim the hips forward. Take a couple deep breaths in each position. From there, right down into a seated position. That good old butterfly stretch. Pull those heels in towards your groin as close as you can. Start to again push the elbows down on the knees. Stretch out those adductors. From there, right into the pike position. Wasn't always able to grab the feet, so over time, this definitely has gotten better to where I feel like I can really stretch out and just continue to loosen up the hamstrings and glutes. Kind of wide, about 45-degree angle to where I can still reach my feet. Leaning as far forward as I personally can. Crossing one over the other. Getting as much opposite stretch as possible. I try to go from the elbow to the knee, reach the hand down across the thigh. Pull that knee cross body, really stretches out that particular glute. Same thing on the other side. If done in the morning, I wake up super stiff, so I just take my time with this. Again, a couple deep breaths in each position. From there, lay on back flat. Keeping my arms flat, I try to reach up as high as I can, stretch out that rib cage, open up that sternum. I go from a T position to a Y, and then up to an I position, stretch as high as I can. Feel as stretched out as possible from my feet to my hands. Start to stretch out the rotator cuffs. I try to get the hands to touch forward and back. I count to 5 in each position. And then right back up into the I position. Full stretch. That good old figure 4 position where I'm using one leg to stretch out the opposite leg. Reach through, grab the knee, and pull up to your comfort level. Switch. These are just the things that I personally have felt really tight in. My lower half tends to feel tighter than my upper, so I give extra attention with the hamstrings, the glutes. So you see certain things feel almost redundant, but it's what I tend to need most. Again, as much cross body stretch as possible. Try to get that elbow to touch the ground. Reach out. Big deep breath. Single hamstring stretch. Pull up as much as you can without ripping something. Again, reach across. Flop it over. The goal is to get that foot to touch, elbow to touch. Extend the arm completely. Reach out as far as you can, making sure that head follows. And kind of neutralize again, cannonball into the pool. Stretch it back out. Then, again, full stretch, rounding out that lower back. Right back up to where I started, basically. Squat position. And boom, now you're ready for anything. Everything feels loosened up, top to bottom, front to back, left to right. So whether you are doing an upper body day, a lower body day, or just an off day, everything feels like it's ready to go. Here's one I added maybe a year ago. I was having shoulder issues from my good buddy Raymond Carrito, the online coach. Shout out. Just 20 out and then 20 up and over. Really loosening up those shoulders with a little bit of tension. Obviously, you can use a broomstick if you want. It took a while for this to alleviate the shoulder pain I was having, but now they feel 100%. So take some time to learn this stretch routine if you're new to stretching at all. You can pause at each individual stretch until you feel that it flows just like it does for me. You can go out of order. This is just how I've done it for years, and you pretty much can do it in your sleep, and it feels natural. One movement rolls right into the next. This routine for me was created out of necessity. Even a decade ago, I felt way less flexible, a lot more injury prone, more aches and pains all over than I do now. So how grateful I am for this stretch routine every day. I'm reminded that it's helping with mobility, flexibility, blood flow, stretching out the muscles, the joints, the ligaments, the tendons, everything that's involved in helping me with what I truly love, which is the strength training, all aspects of fitness. So for me, every day, this is not a compromise. Whether I am traveling and I'm doing this in a hotel room, I'm at the beach, I'm doing it in the sand, anywhere that I've got some flat ground, I can do this routine, whether it's at home, in the gym. And it has been an absolute game changer for me. So remember, because we can never go back and we refuse to get stuck here. So together, we march forth.